There's no better symbol to represent all Catholics and everyone in this Catholic community and to welcome them than the cross of Jesus Christ.
Why are you so censorious, ma'am? I didn't misgender you.
I have nothing to say.
not give
In a
them
public place.
I have nothing to. The Canadian flag and the Ontario flag includes everybody.
But don't you find it? I'm trying to. Shut the f up, Dave. David Menzies for Rebel News here in Kitchener, Ontario, and we're here very early for a meeting, a Board of Trustees meeting at the Waterloo District Catholic School Board, and by all indications it's going to be a very contentious meeting. It kicks off at 6 o'clock. It is now 3:30, and you can already see people lining up because they want their voices to be heard. And the crux of the matter is a motion to ban the rainbow pride flags and decals at Waterloo Catholic District schools. This was something that was approved a few years ago, and a trustee is going to float a motion to rescind that. And as you can imagine, it's very controversial. There are the people behind me, that lady brandishing a sign saying "Make Catholic Schools Catholic Again." And further down, there are the members of the LGBT, etc. community. They're easily spotted. They typically wear rainbow paraphernalia. Yet the thing is, folks, wouldn't you say that somebody going to school, a Catholic school, in Ontario, Canada, the inclusivity is there for everyone thanks to the Canadian flag, the Ontario flag, and the cross. And that is what this motion is all about. It's about to prohibit any other flag than the Ontario and Canadian flags and the school board flag and the cross from being displayed. And I should say, folks, that this Catholic school board, for the last couple of years, they've been in the news for all the wrong reasons. First of all is the censorship. Do you know they will not allow the school board meeting to be filmed? And aside from that, they don't have a live streaming mechanism. So in other words, if you don't get into the building physically, you don't hear the entirety of what's going on. Why is that? Also, the censorship is so ridiculous that if you dare ask a question that the woke trustees or chair deemed to be impolite, you will be issued with a trespass notice. And that's not conjecture. It happened to me 2 years ago. I asked a question that did not go over well, and I was served with a trespass notice for 2 years. Well, as you can imagine, as luck would have it, the trespass notice, my 2-year prohibition, ended yesterday. So now I am as free as a bird to come here and ask questions until I'm trespassed again, perhaps. Another incident that made international news, actually, were the stunning and hateful comments of trustee Wendy Ashby. She said this, quote, "The most dangerous creature on the planet is the white Christian male. They're a threat to anyone who is not them," end quote. Well, as you can imagine, there was quite the uproar about that, and eventually Wendy Ashby would not only resign, but actually change her name. Wow. And then, of course, there's the matter of Kathy Doherty Masters. She is the trustee who earlier this year was censured. Why? Well, she was found in conflict of interest. Why is that? Well, because she was financially enriching her husband, Fred Masters. Yes, she was using taxpayer dollars to buy hubby's books. Absolutely astonishing. This idea of pride flags going up on Catholic school board properties, it's nothing new under the sun. For several years now, other Catholic school boards have tackled this debate. But here is an interesting twist. Last week, the board's own lawyer sent an 18-page long opinion where she suggests quashing the motion. So in other words, not to even have the motion discussed or debated. And she basically says that the motion appears to exceed the jurisdiction of the Board of Trustees in at least 3 respects. And here are the 3 points. The motion may be found to have a discriminatory intent, particularly if a trustee makes a comment that is considered discriminatory. Alternatively, the motion may be found to have an adverse effect on LGBTQ students because it removes recognition that they have enjoyed for several years, thus creating a disadvantage based on sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression. And finally, it is unlikely that the board could rely on Section 1910 of the Code to justify any discriminatory aspects of the motion. So the question arises, is it possible this motion won't even see the light of day? It's all going to come down to a vote. We hear it's going to be tight. It's going to be settled presumably by one trustee. Will he or she vote yay or nay? So we might not even have a discussion about this in the first place. But doesn't this fit in to the whole censorious makeup of this particular school board? They don't want to be filmed. They don't want live streaming. And in this case, they don't even want, or at least some of them, including their lawyer, to have the motion discussed. Uncanny. In any event, I'm going to wander into the crowd, speak to those who are against the display of the Pride paraphernalia, as well as those who support it. Any bets on who is going to offer civil discourse and who is going to make a jackass out of themselves? Let's find out.
We shouldn't be putting up a flag that celebrates one of the 7 deadly sins, in fact, the most deadly of the 7 deadly sins, and which celebrates sexual lifestyles that are considered gravely sinful by the church, such as, homosexual sex, transgenderism, transvestitism, dressing as the opposite sex, the mutilation of children, cutting off their genitals and their breasts. All these are grave sins that the church condemns. And so why on earth would a religious, faith-based school system be flying such a symbol of sin?
Hey folks, we're just wondering if you can come on camera and tell us why you're here tonight.
No comment. Thank you, though.
No? Okay then.
Enjoy the weather.
Are there any LGBTers that would like to...
Lots and lots.
Oh, that would like to speak with me?
No, none that would want to speak with you.
Oh, okay then. Isn't that the whole idea of like wearing these symbols to make a statement? And...
So we're here because of love.
Okay.
And we feel you're here for a different reason, and so we're not interested in speaking with you. Thank you.
How was this ushered in by a Catholic school board in the first place?
Yeah, well, the previous board was, unfortunately, the majority was anti-Catholic.
Okay. Anti-Catholic on a Catholic school board.
That's right. They're anti-Catholic. they disagree with church teaching. They despise it. There was only a minority of good trustees. There were 2 faithful Catholics on the board at the time. And, to cover their tracks, they wanted, obviously, to fly the gay pride flag, but they didn't want to be held accountable to it. So they wink said, we'll let the director make the decision. And of course the director was very pro-LGBT and announced that they'd be flying the flag from then on.
Hi ladies, how you doing?
Not interested, but thank you so much.
Oh, okay then. It says I'm a teacher, love is love.
That's right.
Yeah. By the way, I noticed the security guard has the kafifa on. How is the LGBT community treated in Gaza? No. How about yourself, Mom? How is the LGBT community treated in Gaza?
Talking to you. Thank you.
No? Okay, then. It's very weird if you're bringing signs to a public venue. I would imagine you'd be all in on talking.
From appropriate sources, so thank you.
Oh, what would be the appropriate source, ma'am?
Have a banana and move on, please.
Have a banana? That sounds like that scene out of It's Pat. Remember that? Here, check it out.
Pat. Is that a banana in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
No, it's a banana.
Do you know, could they make that movie today, or would that be considered transphobic?
We got to get rid of all the political symbols. So he's put forward basically a neutrality motion to get rid of all political symbols, not allow them anymore, including the LGBT pride flag, MAGA flags, Black Lives Matter flags, which is very heavily political, communist, Marxist, and a whole list of other flags that are political in nature.
Don't give this person something to film. Don't give this person something to film.
Why are you so censorious, ma'am? I didn't misgender you.
I have nothing to say to you.
In a public place.
I have nothing to say to you.
When I am a child.
No, I'm not interested in you. I'm listening to this lady.
No. This lady
Then
is
why
not
are you
giving
saying that my
permission to
flag and the
record
flag that
I don't need permission.
and who I love is against God?
You have your flag. You just don't need to put it in a place where children are being educated.
Why?
Why? Because they don't need to learn that wrongful information.
No thanks.
It's your
Why is
choice.
it harmful and why is it
It's your
disrespectful?
choice
Sin,
to live-
sin
to
is
live
a lack
your
of God.
choice to
Sin is a
believe
lack of God.
If you want me to
So
talk,
loving
stop
someone is
yelling
not a
over
lack
me.
of God.
I won't talk to you if you're going to yell at me and overtalk me. Thank you. There are always two sides to everything.
No, there isn't. There is God,
There's one
and there is
side.
nothing else.
She was misquoting some stuff from Pope Francis, some confusing statements that Pope Francis has made. And when I asked her about statements where Pope Francis clearly said that homosexual marriage is wrong, she didn't want to discuss that. And where he's affirmed church teaching on things like transgenderism and sexual sins, she didn't want to talk about that.
Oh, you're with the union, are you? Okay, then. One of your colleagues, Dufferin Peel, said not having the rainbow flag was a matter of life and death. Do you think it's a matter of life and death, sir?
I'm not speaking with you, but thank you.
Okay, then I didn't understand the life and death comment. Would that mean somebody were going to kill members of the LGBT community, or they would take their own lives?
I'm really not interested in speaking with you.
You know, as a union that represents educators, you know, that's a pretty sad answer, wouldn't you say?
That I'm not interested in speaking with you?
Yeah. Like, explain your position.
My position is very clear.
I believe that the Canadian flag and the Ontario flag includes everybody, everywhere, and there is no need to have that extra flag that represents not everybody.
The quasi-security people, I think they're cosplaying as security guards, who are wearing kafifas and Palestinian flags, are telling members of the LGBT community not to talk with us. But you know, it's an upgrade, because if we were in Gaza, they would be brought to the top of a skyscraper and thrown to their death. Unbelievable.
In the goodness of their hearts, they are trying to do what they believe is right. Unfortunately, there is such a thing as objective truth, and they are not aware of that.
The board is divided between the pro-Jesus and the anti-Jesus trustees. Yeah. And the anti-Jesus trustees do not support this motion by Conrad Stanley. They want to keep flying this flag of sin. And of course, they requested a legal opinion for the very purpose of killing the motion.
By the way, sir, you guys with the vests on are like you some sort of security, or? Hey, sir, how you doing? I see on your cap you have the pride flag, but you have a Palestinian flag there. How are members of the LGBT community treated in Gaza, sir?
You really don't have to be talking to my friend like that. Please.
Oh, I'm just asking a question, ma'am.
No, thank you. You're in my space.
No, you came to me.
No, thank you.
But don't you find it? I'm trying to.
Shut the f***
up, Dave. Why? Don't you believe in free speech, sir? It is, sir. Or did I didn't misgender you or anything, did I?
No, we got to check though. Would you like to see?
Oh, please no. I scare easy.
Would you like to see?
Okay. Well, what does that mean, the bear with the flag?
It means I'm going to eat you alive.
Ooh, that sounds like a criminal violation, sir.
Is it? You should report it, Dave.
Yeah. Who are you, by the way, and why are you wearing a disguise?
Tom.
Tom what?
What are you wearing a disguise? You look like you're going to go fishing.
Yeah, in a three-piece suit. I go fishing all the time. So, anyhow, he's moving on. Hi, ma'am. Can you tell me why you're here today?
Thank you.
The fellow you were just talking to, he said that he wanted to eat my genitals. What do you think he meant by that?
I have blah 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 blah. Have a
Yeah, that's my response too. Blah, 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 blah. And that's all, folks. Jack flagged me down, and he showed me a photo from a previous meeting. Here, check it out. This gal, for some reason, is flashing her breasts. I guess post Gwen Jacob, you're allowed to go topless in public these days. Anyways, I'm just trying to connect the dots why you would support a terrorist organization that would throw members of your community off skyscrapers in Gaza. Can anyone explain that to me?
Nobody talked to him.
By the way, why are you wearing a mask too? A lot of people are wearing masks. I thought the mask mandates were eradicated some 3 years ago.
La 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 la.
Please stop. I don't like
Oh, dig that groovy beat.
They don't want transparency. That's why they don't live stream. That's why they don't allow the public to make their own videos, to record the public board meeting that's supposed to be public. That's the reason. They're here demanding, they're coming into our building, into our public, into our Catholic School Board, and demanding that we teach and fly their banners, their flag of conquest. And that's what it is. It's conquest.
Let's make no mistake. We're talking some very powerful players here. The union people, when they were trying to get the flag motion approved at Dufferin Peel, the union person said that this was literally a matter of life and death to get the rainbow flag flying. And who would show up at the last meeting? None other than the former premier of Ontario herself. Here, check it out, folks. Kathleen Wynne. Miss Wynne. You were personal friends with Benjamin Levin, who got convicted of child pornography. What do you have to say about that? Miss Wynne, can you answer that question? Someone with your Ministry of Education was convicted of child pornography.
Sustain us every day.
David, do you have anything to say about that?
Helps us to find
I have nothing to say to you.
Why?
Christian hope does not deceive or disappoint because it is grounded in the certainty that nothing and no one may ever separate us from God's love.
For one, she's not a Catholic. She admits she's not a Catholic. She's got no business bullying her way into a Catholic building and trying to bully people around and boss them around to believe what she believes. And she's a practicing lesbian, so she knows she's in conflict with what the Catholic Church teaches. Yeah. Why is she there trying to shame them, trying to embarrass them, trying to push them around?
Well, folks, it's just coming up for 4 o'clock, and as you can see behind me, this is a truly sad sight. I'm not going to engage those people marching down the street with their rainbow paraphernalia. And the reason is, it looks like most of them are minors. It looks like they just got out of school. And yeah, sure, everybody loves a parade, but I mean, talk about indoctrination. I bet most of these kids don't even know what it is they're supporting. Well, folks, what can I tell you? We were just tipped off by a source that most of these high school students are from Resurrection School. And this demonstration, it's not grassroots. It was organized allegedly by teachers. Can you believe it? That is how in they are with the rainbow mafia indoctrination. That teachers at a Catholic school are providing kids with propaganda to march down the street demanding what? Oh, I don't know, that they get to display the pride flag and pride decals. In any event, we don't want to engage with minors. We respect people of that age group clearly more than teachers do, who are using them as useful pawns. But we must depart now because it is election day. We have some stories we have to cover on the road. I will bring the epilogue to this story, which is to say, if the motion is heard and if the motion goes through or is defeated, stay tuned for that. So folks, I have an update as to what happened last night at the Waterloo Catholic District School Board in Kitchener, and that is to say the motion was heard, but the motion went down to defeat. You see, here's the skinny. The board is essentially divided 50-50. There are the woke trustees and there are the trustees that are committed to traditional Catholic values. So it all came down to one trustee, that would be Bob Sikora. Sikora claims to be a conservative, and he has worked on campaigns for the Conservative Party, yet in a stunning display of weakness, Bob voted against adopting the motion that would reverse the Pride propaganda materials. Apparently, he just wants to go along, to get along, and what can I say? We reached out to him to get his side of the story, par for the course. He did not respond. And yet again, it would appear that Mr. Sikora is one of these conservatives in name only, an Aaron O'Toole conservative. And for the time being, the radicalized, gotta take a deep breath, LGBTTTIQQAAPP ideology prevails at the Waterloo Region Catholic Schools, primarily because one man on the board lacked the testicular fortitude to do the right thing. Folks, are you sick and tired of the indoctrination going on in our classrooms, including Catholic schools? I mean, little Johnny and Janie, they can't spell cat if you spotted them the C and the T, but wow, they sure know the 128 genders. Well, please, go to our petition. Go to stopclassroomgrooming.com. That's stopclassroomgrooming.com. Sign the petition, and while you're there, if you're able to, please make a donation so that Rebel News can continue to bring you the other side of the story.